Now here, this is the order which he had given, which was made as a plaque and put up over here. Now on top you can see Shivaji doing the Abhishek. It was here, and then the thing is written down here, the invocation of this temple. If you go to the fort called as Sindhudurg, you will have heard of this fort, Sindhudurg? Yes. Okay, there is a temple built for Shivaji as the deity. And if you look at that temple, it is a mini version of this temple with the same arches and everything. Okay, now what you see over here, this is not the original, but it is called as Kavi art. Did I tell you about Kavi art? Okay, so what they did was they put the chunam first, the lime, then they scratched out when it was wet, and they put in this red mud, and then they polished it smooth. It's a tragedy that the old ones have not been maintained over here. These are all painted. Now what I want you all to do is to come in and just sit down for 10 minutes without opening the mouth. Just sit down. See how nice and cool you will feel. Come in. One of the 12 most important temples in the Konkani region that is dedicated to Lord Shiva or Mahadev is the Sri Saptakoteshwar temple, which was the original deity of the Kadamba kings. This was not over here. This idol, the ling, the icon, was at Diwade in a ward called as Narwa. Today, the ward of Narwa is still there. There is a beautiful rock-cut cave of this temple there. Makes very good visit. But initially, it was the Muslim raiders, then the temple was destroyed by the Portuguese, and they removed the ling and they put it for a bandh. The people did not like it, so they removed it from the bandh and they hid it near a well, near the ferry that is between Pilgaon or Narve and Diwar in Malar. One of the Sardesais, Narayan Rao Surya Rao Desai, one day he took a group of people. When he came to know, they say that he got this dream that the god wanted to come this side. So he took a handful of village boys, and this particular ling, which was next to the fort of Narwa, there is a fort in Narwa also of Diwar, they went and they brought it this side. They say that initially he did not establish it here. He took it to Latambarse, and from Latambarse after 4 years he brought it here and kept in a rock cave that was over here. The year 1668 was a very, very important year for this temple. The ruler, the king of Marathas, Chhatrapati Shivaji, he came here when he learnt about the atrocities carried out by the Portuguese administration of the then regime. And he, being a Shiv Bhakt, it is said he came here to pay his obeisance. But when he was entering the coconut leaf covered cave, they say that his crown, the turban, fell off. Not once but twice. And like is the practice here, when they asked God or the oracle, he said that God wants you to build a temple. And it is his orders that this temple was built. Over a period of time, things have changed. But when they were constructing this temple, the idol was not kept there, but the idol was kept in 2 small cubicles behind. So now what we will do is we will go there and see those cubicles and the old Agarshala, how it is carved out in the rocks. The main event of this temple is Mahashivratri. So if you are in Bicholi and you have the time or find the time to please come over here, because there are so many things around, like the paths made out of masonry stones, that it is amazing. Your visit will definitely be a very memorable one. So let's go around and see what is on the sides. So now here behind me you can see this wonderful Saptakoteshwar temple. So what we'll do, we'll just take a walk and see what things are there. Here you have got the pujari, the priest, Mr. Khandekar, and behind him you can see the Agarshala. Now this Agarshala actually meant Agrahashala. They wanted to extend hospitality. So that is exactly why they named it as Agarshala. If you look at the windows of this particular thing, it is what we call as the military engineering. They are V-shaped. So from inside you can see much further, while from outside it is restricted to the open space over here. The dome that you see over here, it's actually not a Hindu style. It is basically acquired from Muslim architecture. It's a beautiful dome, and when they brought the idol over here from Narwa, actually they did not bring it directly over here. It is said that they took it to Ladfe or Latambarje, and 3-4 years later it was brought here and kept in the cave, a rock cave, which is presently the Sanctum Sanctorum or Garbhagriha. But when Shivaji came here in April 1668 and asked them to build a temple over here, they had to shift the idol to another place where they could work without stamping on top of the idol, and it was kept in this excavation that has been made over here, and which had a lovely rock cut arches here, making the actual Agarshala or the mandap, the hall of the temple. So this is at the rear, and we saw inside, we also saw inside that we don't cross over on the water that is passing, which is put as abhishek or bath, the ritual bath on the linga. That water comes out and it falls into this pit over here. But something that you all must see if you all come to Norway is how they have maintained the paths, the traditional road. By putting steps over here, you can still see how it had been made over here. The old path has been retained. It had 3 flat stones and 1 upright stone. So even if you slipped, you would not roll right down. This temple, they are very orthodox when it comes to doing the rituals over here. It has its own well, a very cute well over here, from where the water is drawn and used for the rituals in the temple. Like every other temple, this also has a wonderful tulsi outside and a temple flower tree. This precinct is amazing. It has remained very similar like it was many years ago. Okay, a few houses have been added over here, and here you can see the well. But today we just turn the tap on. Earlier they had this wheel, and the rope which was used had a noose which was put around a container or a kershi, and then it was sent down and the water was pulled up. This is how they drew water from the well. Also, what we see when we walk around this place is the chariot, temple chariot. There are many times, we see these palkis, lalkis, where people carry them on the hand. But we also see chariots, religious chariots, which are pulled by the people. Some of them are huge, but here you can see a very beautifully and artistically made chariot, which we call as the Rath. Now that you have seen the Rath, let's go and see the temple lake. Come. Now we have reached a place where we can go to the temple lake. Now every temple has a beautiful lake, and here we can see the temple lake of the Sri Saptakoteshwar temple of Narve. And every time I say this, that this is Saptakoteshwar of Narve, and I am telling you that it was brought here from Narwa in Diwar. One more thing has to be told very, very clearly. When they came to this village, the name of this village was Hindane, which is also part of the village now. But because they brought the idol from Narwa in Diwar, they named this place as Narwa or Narve. But today we say Narve of Bicholi, Narve of Diwar. This is the temple lake. After we finished seeing the Sri Saptakoteshwar temple at Narve, we took a shortcut and we came via the Khorzue island. They say Khorzue means tough island, Khor and Zue. But it is connected to mainland by two bridges. One we know is the cable stay bridge, and this bridge used to open out to allow barges. You can see the cut over here, but something went wrong and this technology did not work. From here you can see the Khorzue fort. On this fort there is a story. There was a lady who wanted to see the world. Her name was Miss Lancashire or Lancaster, and she was along with the male soldiers. So she was caught here, who was trying to camouflage herself like a man. And it is said that the captain of this fort married her. But whatever it is a beautiful way to end a whole day of tour. And let us find out what the views of the students are, because they are tired. So after a grueling day that they have had, these youngsters that we see behind, they look like molten wax. But I am sure that they have learned something today. So here we have got Mr. Calvin Moses. Let us find out from him how was his experience. So Calvin, how was the day today?
So to brief it up, actually today's tour can't be summed up in a few words, because even though being a citizen of this state for so many years, every time we travel to these different places we learn so much more than what textbooks can teach us. And hence, seeing all these sites really makes a big impact on us in terms of our culture, that tomorrow we can educate people who are not from this state about the diversity. To find so many different cultures and different ways of adapting to this culture within one state is really remarkable, and it's something our state citizens can proudly boast of. So thank you for the opportunity of helping us.
That is one heck of a summing up. I liked it. And I am sure that this must be the view of all this generation that we have over here. Now, let's not speak only to a boy. Now, from here, in this group of the SS Dempo BBA unit, which is at Miramar, they have pushed forward their class representative. Let's speak to her. We heard the boy speaking, but that would not be right. Let's not tilt the scales and let us find out from the class representative, Ms. Shriya Jobanputra, and the teacher also here, as to how has their experience been. And I hope that they give us a very frank view of how they have gone around and what they experience. Let's listen to them. That's girl power. So, how did you enjoy your tour today, and what suggestions do you have?
The infrastructure of each and every temple or anything we visited today was really very nice. Especially people coming from outside India, they would find a lot of problems because there were no washrooms, and they would face a lot of problems with it. The carvings were not clear, so they could not even understand half of the things, how it was. And the places were quite dirty, not too clean also.
Okay. And do you find that you were tired, or it was too much?
Yes, it was too much. It was too tiring also. We had to walk a lot and see the different types of rocks, carvings, etc. And it was too sunny also, so we got dehydrated.
You have a suggestion for the sun to be a little less hot?
No.
Okay. So let's find out from the teacher.
I agree to what Shreya is saying, that firstly I can tell you that we really enjoyed the day. So many things, being in the state of Goa also, we didn't use many things, the culture what we have. But secondly, these places should be maintained properly, and especially the washroom for ladies, for women, it is really a big problem. And otherwise the day was really very good.
There you have it. The sun was hot, it was very grueling. Like I told you, molten wax over here, but this is the sad part of the generation of today. They cannot bear the hot sun, too much of AC, but sometimes going around in Goa, you get rejuvenated. Not now, but for the years to come. So here you have the views of two students from Goa, from the SS Dempo BBA unit Miramar. Now you can see that they have all been standing here waiting to give you a whooping cry, and here they go. If by the evening, the whole day, they have got this much of energy, this is a generation that is going to keep Goa alive. From My Goem to you. It has been a very, very tiring day. You have heard the whoops of the students that came along. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our endeavor through My Goem. Remember this sign over your heart, love for Goa. It is our endeavor to bring the unseen and the lesser known aspects of the heritage of Goa to you, to your homes, to your TV. Many times we may have skipped something, and it would be nice if you could write to us, keep in touch with us on the email that you see here on your screen, and let us know if there is something that we can cover for you. We would also like to know your views about Goa and how you like this program. So please write to us, keep in touch with us. My Goem, Prudent Media with my cameraman Shirish, ending a day of wonderful viewing of heritage of Goa. See you next time for the next episode on My Goem on Prudent Media.